So can you see my screen now?
Yes, I can see it.
Yes.
Okay, that's great. That's great. That's great. So for today's class, we'll be focusing on two items, which is data cleaning and data management, right? Um, so please confirm that you can all see my screen. Good, good. Okay, thank you. So before we go, let's discuss what is data cleaning. So data cleaning is a process of sorting, evaluating, and preparing raw data for transfer and storage. It involves fixing or removing incorrect, corrupted, incorrectly formatted, duplicate, or incomplete data within a data set. So right now we know that sometimes when we do data analysis, the data set might not come in, how will I put it now, in a very, for lack of better, it will come in a dirty format, right? It will come in a dirty format in the sense that the data might not be as clean as it wants to be. There might be some errors. There might be some mistake. I could remember when Omesede was handling a class on Monday. Remember the illustration she gave about people filling informations, and somebody wants to type Nigeria, and maybe one person will put Nagerian, and that person will put Nagirna. Now, some of these errors are actually human error. None of us can say we don't make mistakes, right? Typo errors, we all do it. It all happens sometimes when we are chatting on WhatsApp, when you are sending message or posting on socials, then you now find out that you actually made like a mistake. So this also happens during data entry process. Um, sorry, please. Please, your hand is raised up. Is there like a problem?
Yes, good evening. Please, I
Good
can't see
evening.
your screen, what you're saying. I can't see your screen.
Okay, please, can other people confirm? Is it only peace I can't see, or Joshua? Please, is my screen visible?
Yes,
Joshua.
it's visible. Just the screen is visible.
All
Yes,
right,
your screen is
peace.
visible.
Okay, Josh, peace. I think it's your network, so you might have to maybe log out and log in again to improve your network. It might just be your network issue, or change network provider. Okay, so as I was saying, sometimes during the process of data entry, it's human error. People tend to make mistake, and if you see that they almost a day was trying to teach us measures in which you can help reduce to the barest minimum the entry of these mistakes. But there are some instances where you were not there during the data collection process, right? You were not there when the data was collected. You were just called one day and they told you, okay, see this data set. We need you to analyze the data set and give us insight. You were not there during the data when the data set was collected. So before you can even start doing analysis, there are some steps that you need to take before analysis can commence. And one of those steps is data cleaning. You have to clean the data, because further in your journey in data analysis, you begin to see things like data integrity, data consistency, data qualities. These are all data analysis terminologies that are put, or their data analysis procedures that were put in place to ensure the accuracy of data that we have, right? So if you can see from the definition, we said data cleaning is the process of sorting, evaluating, and preparing raw data. Mark that word, raw data, for transfer and storage. It involves fixing or removing incorrect. Now, look at that, fixing or removing. We'll come back to that part. incorrect, corrupted, incorrectly formatted, duplicate, or incomplete data within our data sets, right? So you can see there are two things. Yes, it's either you fix it or you remove it. So these are two ways in which we handle um, data that has errors. It's either it is fixed or it is removed. Now there are procedures that needs to be in place that will determine whether the data set should be removed or whether the data set to be fixed. So removing, it's mostly every data analyst will tell you removing should be your last option because every data is important. Removing should be your last option first before you start talking about removing the incorrect or corrupted data. You should first of all try to figure out if you can actually fix it, because the more the data you have, the more insights you can get, the more accurate your insights would be, right? So please confirm that you guys can still hear me, and maybe just like a thumbs up. Let me be sure I'm not just speaking to myself, because these network providers can be funny. Please oh yeah, thank you very much, thank you for that feedback. So right now, I took out time to write out steps, which you can see from the screen, data cleaning procedures. Now, reason why I did this was because when it comes to data cleaning is very, very, very vast, right? Data cleaning is very, very vast. It depends on please, can you guys hear me?
We lost you, but you just came
Okay,
back.
sorry.
Welcome back.
Okay, thanks. Sorry, I got a call, so let me block it so that doesn't happen again. So it won't be disrupted. I'm so sorry about that.
No biggie.
So please just give me a few minutes. Let me activate something on my phone. Okay, please. Sorry about that. I got a phone. My phone which I was using was the one having network issues. So I had to switch to my phone and that network provider. But sorry about that. So please, can someone confirm, where did you lose me from? Where was I saying when the whole this thing got disrupted? Steven.
You're talking about the data cleaning procedures.
Okay, thank you very much. Steven, your hand
Two
is up.
data cleaning procedures. That's
Steven.
the two data cleaning procedures. That's fixing or removing.
Okay. So as I was saying, when we talk about data cleaning, there are two things. It's either you fix the error or you remove the error. Now, removing of the error should be your last resort, right? Because the more data you can get, the more accurate your insights can be, right? So and then there's also a ratio. For example, now if you have like a data set that is 1000, and let's say about 600 of the data set has like null values in between the columns, and you say you want to remove everything, your insights will actually be sort of distorted, right? So now well, that's why we said removing the data should be the last resort. The first thing you should consider should be fixing the errors. And now those errors are some of the things we'll be discussing. We won't cover all of them. We'll just be discussing some. Now, first things first, when you want to when in the data cleaning procedure is to remove duplicate data. Remove duplicate data. Sometimes we might have a scenario where more than one entry is being made. Now, take for example, now this attendance. If, for example, there was no feature in the attendance that hinders you from entering attendance more than once, I bet you that some persons might enter their attendance more than once, right? Right now, if you want to go back to fill the attendance again to tell you, sorry, your attendance has already been filled, you cannot submit another response. But that was a feature that we put so that people will not fill attendance more than once. But in a scenario where somebody now fills attendance more than once and want to analyze, for example, now I want to analyze people that came to class today, and maybe 10 persons fill attendance twice. If we have a total of 50, what we'll be seeing from our end, it will be 70, right? Because 10 people we'll be seeing 60 because 10 persons filled the attendance twice. So now during data, this is one of the issues we can solve during data cleaning, and that is removing duplicates. So let's go to our data set and let me show you how we can remove duplicates. So everyone confirm that you can see my screen, my Excel sheet. Joshua, please.
Yes, you can see it.
Okay, good. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. So now to remove duplicates on Excel is very, very, very simple. Excel has made it easy for you. Please, somebody's mic is on that has like a background sound. If you can turn it off, please. Thank you. So now Excel has a very simple feature that helps you to remove duplicates in your data sets. You don't need to write or figure out any complicated. It's just simple. Come to your data. This part that is marked remove duplicates. You said delete duplicate rules from your sheet. You can pick which column should be checked for duplicate information. So you select. Now, when removing duplicates, we cannot remove duplicates across all our data sets because places like product category, gender, the quantity, there's room for repetition there, right? So what we need to do is to uncheck all of this, and to run to check for duplicates, we really need to do that on our unique identifier, which is our customer ID, because we know that customers cannot have more than one ID. So when we want to check for duplicates, the best place to always check for duplicates is your primary key, which is your unique identifier. And in this our data set, our unique identifier is the customer ID. So let's run it, and okay. You see, give us a prompt, no duplicate values found. So Excel has gone through all our data sets. Excel has gone through the data set from beginning to the end and has found out that there is no duplicate. There is no duplicate at all. Gladys, your hand is raised. Do you have a question?
No, please, I wanted you to start the example again. I did not get you very well.
Akandi Lade, I guess that's your own comment too.
Yes.
Okay. Obu Achinedu, I think same with you.
No, it's not same. Your screen has gone back to
Yeah, I know. I had the prompt that somebody raised hand, so I came to check who raised hand.
okay.
But yeah. Okay, so let me go back to our data set. As I said, the first things first from our outline is for data cleaning procedure is to check and remove duplicates, right? So now on Excel, to do this, to check and remove duplicates, is just a simple click button. First, you come to data. When you come to data, come to this data tool section. And when you hover around it, it gives you the name of each of them. So here it says remove duplicates. There is delete duplicate rows from your sheet. You can pick which column should be checked for duplicate information. So when you select that, it gives us a prompt. Now we cannot check for duplicates on all our columns, because some columns permit for the entry of duplicates. Because, for example, now in this our products category, the person customer 001 that bought from the beauty category is different from customer 005 who also bought from the same beauty category. So if we run duplicate on the product category, it will remove a lot of our data and only leave unique values, right? So we cannot run to check for duplicates on our product. We can't do that for price per unit, for age, for gender, or for date rather. So the best column to use to check for duplicates is the unique identifier of that column, of that data set as a whole. And now for this our data set, our unique identifier is the customer ID. For most data sets, that is what is being used, because they know that one customer cannot have two IDs. 001 is different from 002. You cannot be the same persons. When the data set or when database was being created, you were assigned an ID to uniquely identify you as this person, right? So customer ID is one column that cannot and should not have duplicates. So that is the best place for us to run. That's the best place for us to check for duplicates and remove them. So once we have selected our customer ID, just to click OK, and it tells us no duplicate values is found, which means from the beginning to the end of our data set, there are no duplicates. Excel has checked from 001 to the very last data entry and found out that every cell is a unique identifier. There are no duplicates, so we are safe to move to our next step. Is that clear by everyone? Does everybody now understand? Gladys, is that clear? Okay. Thank you. So now we move on to the next aspect of our data cleaning procedure, which is removing empty spaces. Now let me show you guys something. Sometimes, as we said, data cleaning has to do with formatting our data sets to fix errors, duplicate incorrect entries, and the likes. So now the next thing we need to do is to remove spaces. Now, if we can look at this column 6, if you notice this place they put beauty, there is space in front of beauty, right? Can we all see that? Let me make my screen a little bigger. Can we all see this? And there's excess space in front
I
of
can't
this.
see your screen, bro. I can only see your picture. I'm only seeing your picture.
Please, can anybody confirm? Is that problem
We
across
can
board?
see your screen. We can see your screen. He should log out and we log in again.
Please, the person that complained about the screen, please, maybe I think it's your network provider. Please, before we go on, I'll just make this announcement general. Please, if for any reason my screen goes off, before you complain about the screen, probably try to log out and log in. It might be your network provider, so we don't keep disrupting the class about screen not being visible. So please log in, log out, and if the issue persists, you can just drop a message on the chat. My colleague Joshua, who is there, can give
Your
you
screen
advice on
now.
what to do, right? All right. So moving forward, as I was saying, the next step in data cleaning procedure is to clean excess spaces before our entry, right? Okay, let me show you guys something. This place now, there's space before beauty. I think same thing with clothing, and also clothing here. There's space in front, and if you can see, it is sort of distorting our data set. Beauty is more center aligned, other text are right aligned, because in Excel, numbers are right aligned, text are left aligned. So this is another problem which we need to fix. And as you can see from here, the form is a simple formula, equals to trim. So now this trim is the function that we use to remove excess spaces. This trim is the formula we use to remove excess spaces. So it's the formula is simply equals to trim and then the cell reference, which is the cell you want to remove the excess spaces. So let's do the practical so we can see. First things first, let me create a new column. So I don't want to go and do it in a far place. You can just let it be adjacent. So from here, we said it's equals to trim cell reference, which is this, and then enter. Can you guys see it? Now, this place where that we had beauty, this place beauty where beauty was more looking like it was center aligned, that excess space has been removed. So if you don't have like when you're now working with like large data sets, I think this data set I have is about 99 or 100. If you now have like large data sets of about 1,000, 10,000, and you have this issue, will you want to now start removing the excess spaces one by one? It's time consuming. So this trim is a function that has been put in place to just help us remove excess spaces quickly. If you notice, I didn't do much. All I don't need to do was equals to trim, cell reference, and I press enter. It created a new column. It brought me in the new column where all the whole excess spaces has been removed. So all I just need to do now is this Control C. Go. Okay, sorry, this was brought down. I need to copy this, shift this down, Control C, and come here. Right click and paste values. We don't want the formula, we don't want to go along with the trim formula, we just need only the values. So paste values. So now you can see this place where we had X beauty before, that was excess, has gone. So right now we can delete this row, and now that problem has been fixed, right? Are
Sorry,
we all
can you
following?
please take that again?
Okay, let me take it again
Thank you.
from the beginning. Let me take that aspect again. Control C, Control. So now what we are trying to fix, which I guess you understand, is this excess space before this beauty, before the beauty, excess space before clothing. So what are the simple step is one, create a new column adjacent to what we have. So okay, let me just do it here. So just it's simple, equals to trim. Now it's to select what column do we want, what cell do we want to clean, this one, and enter. You can see it has this column row 6 that has the error here. On this place now, that error has been fixed. Which other one again do we have? Row 11, where we have this excess space here. It has been fixed here. So all you just need to do now is to copy. Once we've copied, come to this product category and then right click. Now we have a lot of paste options because this column 1 that we did, it's not just the beauty that's there is the formula, but we don't need the formula. We need the actual value. So this is paste. This just, if I paste it, it pastes it with both the value and the formula. This one pastes only the values, which is what we want. So it's just to select this, and then the issue here has been cleaned, right? So here it's now clean. So we can go ahead and delete this column. So now you can see column 6, beauty has got the excess space in beauty has gone. Column 12 or column 11, the excess space in clothing has gone, right? So that's how to fix excess spaces in Excel. Are we good to go? Gladys,
Yeah, sorry, you said after you right click, what did you do next?
select paste values.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, so is that
But,
clear with everyone?
but you said we have different paste values, so which how do you know the one to
Yes,
select?
yes. There's paste P, which selects everything that you are copying. Paste value
Okay, so we
selects
select.
only the value, not the formula. If you
All
do the
right,
normal
thank
paste, it will paste both the formula and the value. When you
you.
select just value, it will paste only the value and remove the formula.
All right, thank you.
Is that clear with everyone? I can see someone say I should illustrate with my screen. That was what I just did now. Oh, it's not active now. So okay, if I call, let me show you what I mean. If I copy this and I want to paste it here, and I want to paste it here, right click. Now this is the paste option, right? This is the paste options. So now Excel understands that when the people who configure Excel, they understand that different folks for different stroke for different folks. Now some persons now will be say what they want both the value and the formula. In some scenario, they want both the value and the formula. In some cases, you might not need the formula because when you want to do further analysis, the formula can become a problem. If the formula is still in that cell, you only need the value. In some cases, you only want the formula. So it depends on what you want to do. In our case now, we don't need the formula. All we just need is the value. That's why we select this option. This one that has 1, 2, 3 under. The first one pastes everything, both the value and the formula. The second one pastes just the value. The third one pastes just the formula. And there's another paste option. This is to paste link, paste formatting, transpose. So these are different paste options. You pick which one suits what you want to do. Those people who don't understand, is that clear now?
This one you're doing now, which one does it suit?
So for me now, I picked to paste just value. I don't need the formula, so I picked paste value.
Okay, so in what situation would you use the other options?
In a situation in which we want to, maybe you, for example, now as I'm teaching and I want to show you the formula, right? I can decide to just paste the formula. Okay, let's try something so we can see. So I put the formula is equals to trim let's say okay, trim cell this one and then close, right? So now it gives me 13. If I want to copy this, I want to just copy the formula, and I come here and I put paste just formula. It will bring out the formula for me just here to show me the formula here. If in a situation where I want to put just the value, if I want to put just the value, it will show me only just the value. If I want to paste both the value and the formula, I can use this first option, right? I can use this first option. This one takes both the value and the formula. This one takes just only the value. That's the result of the calculation that was done. Is this option. While this one now takes just the formula. I don't want to see the value. I want to just see the formula. This is option. Then there's some other advanced paste options that are here. Is that clear now? Can we proceed?
Yeah, it's very
Okay.
clear to me.
Okay. So now we have removed the empty spaces. Now what we need to do now is next step is to clean using text format. In some scenarios, persons might, as I said, when we get advanced internal analysis, you begin to hear things like data integrity, data consistency, and then data quality. Now, when we talk about data consistency is everything in that particular column has to be the same from top to bottom. I know if we talk about inconsistency, let me not go with, let me not use some kind of illustration. But when we talk about data consistency, the format that is in cell E2 should be consistent from the beginning to the end. If we want all our text to be in capital letter, everything should be in capital letter from beginning to end. If we want to use small letters, it should be small letters from beginning to end. If we want to use mixed, which Excel calls proper is the first letter is capitalized while the others are small letters from beginning to end. So that's what we call data consistency, when everything in each column from beginning to end are the same. Now look at this. When this person was entering this data set, I don't know, maybe at some point mistakenly turned on the caps lock. Now look here, clothing, the TH is in capital, right? If we keep going, we might see, look here now, the electronics, the ON is in capital. The clothing, ING, is in capital. Now, can we say this our data set is consistent? No, our data set is not consistent because it's not properly arranged. So now there's a function in Excel that can help us fix that error, which is what we have here. Now, the first one is upper. Now, as I can say, I put some comments. This upper function converts all character to uppercase. The lower function converts all characters to lowercase. And then the proper converts the first letter, makes the first letter to be capitalized. Now, let me show you what I mean. So if in this scenario, we want to let everything be capital, so it is equals to, we call the function upper. On which cell, which text do we want to do it? Want to do it on this cell, the product category, and then just press enter. Can you see that everything now is now in capital? So now the data, this data set is now consistent. It's now consistent from beginning. Since this is a small data set, we can actually move through it. You see, from beginning to the end, it's all what? Capital. Everything is capital. So that is the function. That's what upper does. That is what upper does. If we decide to say, okay, no, we don't want it to be capital, we want everything to be in small letter, all we need to do is to call on the lower function on the product category, and then we press enter. You see it now. Everything now is now in small letter. Excel has converted all characters to be in small letters. Excel has converted all our characters to be in small letters. Even in the situation we say, no, we don't want it to be capital, we don't want it to be small letters. We want it to be, let the first word be capitalized and others to be in small letters. There's a function in Excel for that. And that function is called proper. So we call the function proper. Now, what this does, as you can see. So now we can now see the difference. Here, where we use the upper function, you can see from my formula bar, where we use the upper function, everything is in capital letter. Where we use the lower function, everything is in small letters, everything is in lowercase. And then where we use the proper function, only the first word is capitalized. Every other thing is in small letter. Is this clear by everybody?
Yes, it's clear for me.
Yes.
Please, can you
Yes,
come
please.
again? Sorry.
Gladys and Steven, please, if you don't have questions, can you bring down your hand so I can know who? Thank you. So I know who has question and who doesn't have question. Victor, you said I should come again. Okay, so let's bring it back
Yes, sir.
to okay. So now, in some scenarios, as I said earlier when we talked about data cleaning, we said that there are some times where due to human error, people might make mistake. Now, one of the rule in data analysis is that your data has to be consistent for each column. So for every individual column, what happened in the very first cell should be the same thing in the second cell, should be the same thing in the third cell. It should be consistent across board, right? So now we are trying to format our text because we notice from here, if you can see here, clothing, TH is in capital, right? And this is not the data. This doesn't allow make our data set to be consistent. If you scroll down, there might still be error in a scenario where we have up to 10,000 cells. You cannot go and start modifying them one by one. Be checking cell by cell, checking cell by cell to see where the error is and modifying it. You will take days. You will take days to do that. So now what we are trying to show you now that there's a function in Excel that allows you to quickly modify that error. And that function depends on what you want to do. Now, if you decide that, okay, for my own analysis, I want this column, every entry, all the characters to be in capital letter. That's when we use the upper function. Now, this upper function goes into that particular cell that you have chosen and convert every character there, whether it is in capital or small, convert everything to capital letter, as we did here. So if you see from my formula bar, where I put it's just simple equals to upper. So we are calling the function upper, and then select the cell you want to make in capital letter, which is our products category column, and then you press enter and it converts everything to capital letter. If you say no, and that person now can say no, me, I don't want it all to be in capital letter. Capital letter is to make my eyes to make me see things funny. I want small letters. I don't like big things. I like small things. Different stroke to different folks. Me, I like small things. I said no. I want my own cells to be my own entries to be in small letter. We can decide to call on the function lower. So lower goes into that column, into that cell, and converts every character to small letter. Right? Converts everything to small letter. And that person might say, no, me, I don't like doing small things. I don't like doing big things. I'm in between. I'm on the fence. I want to stay in between. I know they left, I know they right. Now me do me and one day. So if it happen for left, I feel that go there. If it happen for right, I feel that go that side. So now if he wants to be in the middle and you say, it's in the middle, me, I want to stay. There's also a function for that. That function is called proper. Now, what proper does is it capitalizes the first letter of every word. Even if we have more than two, if we like, maybe if we have beauty cosmetics, If we have beauty cosmetics, beauty, the B will be in capital letter. Cosmetics will also be in capital letter. So it goes and capitalize the first letter of every word. Is that clear now?
Yes, sir.
Okay. But I think
Yes,
somebody
sir.
else, and thank you. Ba sorry, let me know. No, go bite my tongue. The person that waved his hand, please. Ba Abi?
No, that's on error. Sorry, please.
Okay.
I don't have issues. I don't have
Okay,
issues. I'm
Rejoice.
following.
Rejoice, your hand is up.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. My
Sorry.
hand.
Okay, so Bath, please can you turn off your mic so we can Rejoice can speak. Rejoice, what's the problem? What's the issue?
Okay, so I understood about the proper function which you're trying to explain. But as you are doing it, I'm trying to do it also at my end. And I noticed that just the way you are also using the proper function, when you now use the proper function, the columns duplicate. Just like, how will I put it? The beauty you did and the next column it duplicates. So what if you are doing and using the proper function for a particular data and it end up duplicating? Does it mean you go back and delete the other ones?
Now, I'm getting there. I'm getting there. So maybe you just watch, right? So as we did for the first when we were removing the excess space when we did the trim, now the best practice is to copy and paste just the value. I'll show you in just a bit. But you raised your hand again. Guys, this is already
Yeah.
past.
Um.
We have gone far,
Yeah, I just want
right?
to ask. Okay. Hello.
Yeah, I am hearing you.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes. I just want to ask. Can these functions be automated? As in a sense that as you continue to work with the data, okay, if a particular range of cells is being highlighted or is being applied that function, can it be automated in a sense that as you continue to work, it will automatically be, you know, converted into capital letters or whatsoever as the case may be.
Instead of
Mm. Mm.
Okay. Yeah. There is more of like advanced Excel when you're talking about automating procedures. That's like
Okay.
way outside our scope of discussion for today. There are ways to automate steps or automate procedures in Excel, but that is a whole different topic that can be discussed another different time.
Okay, what I ask is, apart from macros, I know I thought macros are normally mostly used for those automations. I used to hear that, but I don't know. Apart from macros, there's no any other
Okay.
simpler way.
Now the
That,
thing is, the people who handle data cleaning most times are data engineers, and when they are creating, as I said, it's in fact that is not even just a whole different course; it's a whole different career as a whole. When you start
yeah,
talking about
yeah,
automating your data pipeline and its brothers, it's a whole
yeah.
different career. There are people who that is their career. Data management,
Okay.
database management, that's a whole different line, right? So please, Bart, I
Yeah,
want to
that's
us
where we are going.
are running out of time. We're running out of time. We still have a lot to do. Okay. So now that okay, let me complete this. So now, okay, let me see if we want to use build this the proper function. Um Rejoice, just like you are we're asking now, all I need to do is because mine too duplicated. This is the product category. I can see it duplicated in a new column. So all you need to do is to you select this whole cell, control C, copy it because we have fixed the error. Come to this product category, select the whole cell, right click and paste values. Now, once you do that, the issue has been corrected. This column here, we can delete it. It has served its purpose. Now, if you see, if I click in this cell, it's in the formula bar is showing me the formula. Whereas if I click here, it's showing me the value, right? So if your own is duplicating, the one that has the formula, the one that has the right, the correct value, copy it and put it in the column where you want it to be, and then you paste. So now, is that good? Can we move forward?
Sure, yeah, sure.
I'll take the silence as yes. Take the silence as yes. So I can delete all this column. So move on to the next step. And now the next step we can do during data cleaning is separating data using text to column. Now this function, this aspect of data cleaning is useful if the way the data comes is not the way you want to use it, right? Let me take us to another different sheet. Now this is the sheet we'll be using to do our text to column, right? So now you can see in this place now it's how like the entry is first and last name together, right? And in a situation where you want to run your analysis and you don't want to use the first and you want to split the column, you want them to have two different columns, you want it to be separate. Let first name stand on its own, let last name stand on its own, right? There's a function in Excel that we can use to, not a function, is there's a function that we can use to run that, which is called the text to column. And it's here. Just come to data. When you come to data, this part, look at it here, text to columns. Split a single column of text into multiple columns. For example, you can separate a column of full name into separate first and last name column. Does everyone understand the explanation? So now, if we
No,
want to,
please.
No, please.
okay, now let me explain that again. Now we want to run our analysis. Let me use a scenario. We want to run our analysis, right? And for the analysis, we don't want to use their full name. Let me take for example now my job. Sometimes I have to send out mails to clients. And sending out the mails to clients, I don't want the email to carry their first name. I want it to carry their full name. Most of us we have received the mail where you see it will not be dear, your first name will be there, or dear, your last name will be there, right? Can anyone,
Yes.
Yes.
you've seen that scenario where they will send you a mail and it's just your first name. For example, okay, let me say like Akinlade Cordelia. You see dear Cordelia. But when you were filling the form, what you actually put was your full name. When you were registering, what you put now was your full. Okay, let me use Pip now. Okay, now Pip wants to send out a mail, and during the registration process, you put your full name, Akinlade Cordelia, and now Pip wants to send you a mail. We don't want to use your full name. We just want to use either your first name or your last name. Someone hands is raised. Yes. You have the floor. You can speak.
Yeah.
Hello, can you hear me? Good evening, everyone.
Yeah. Good evening.
Okay, thank you very much for the class. Please, could you give them like 5 minutes to fill in their attendance? Just 5 minutes.
So we'll go on a 5 minutes break. Even myself, I need to drink water. I don't need to talk for like 1 hour now. So we'll go for a 5 minutes break. Please, if you have not filled your attendance, when the class started, we called out and we told everyone to go and fill the attendance. Please, Joshua, if it's possible to drop the attendance link again, please. If you have not filled your attendance, this is the opportunity to go and fill it. We have been saying, I'm going to say this again on the call, attendance will not be sent to the WhatsApp group. Almost, you still want to say something?
No, fine. That's all.
Okay.
Thank you.
So attendance will not be sent to the WhatsApp group. If you miss attendance on the call here, means you missed the class. So now, some persons will not say they do not understand because you have to fill attendance. We'll take 5 minutes break. Please go and fill your attendance now. While that is on, does anybody have question on any information that I've passed before? You can use these 5-10 minutes now to tackle that question. Just raise your hand. I can attend to that question while others are going to fill their attendance. And please, once you have filled your attendance, please raise your hand so we can bet. So don't raise your hand. Okay, Victor.
Good evening. So
Yeah, you want to ask a question?
I wanted to ask, yes, I wanted to ask in the attendance, I have been putting the wrong mail on where they instructed we should put the email we registered with. So sometimes I forget, so I just put the wrong email. So I don't know how I can rectify. I just discovered that this evening, so I don't know how I can rectify it.
Okay, what you would do is send. Do you have the PIC community email address, Victor?
No, I don't have it. No, I don't have it.
Okay, please, almost a day. Please, can someone get him the community email address so he can send a mail to that effect, and the support team can help him handle that issue. If possible.
No problem. You should just drop a message on the WhatsApp group.
Okay. And Victor, just drop a message on the general WhatsApp or
Okay,
the WhatsApp group, and support team
okay,
will pick it up and fix it.
okay. Thank you.
All right. So please, I want to believe that every person has filled their attendance. Bath, you have a question.
Yeah, it's still about their attendance.
Okay.
So, like some of us that were not able to do that's to fill up the attendance form due to bad networks. So, what's our fate in this case?
If your fate is to please try and get to resolve your network issue,
Yeah,
because we we don't just share attendance once. If you notice, when the class started, we shared attendance link. Midway into the class now, we've paused and we've shared attendance link. Towards when I'm almost wrapping up, we might still share it one more time. We understand that network might be distorted in some persons, but that's why we are sharing the attendance at different intervals. So if you miss the first one, you can't tell me that we share attendance like 3-4 times and you will not get it. You will not feel it in one of those three. So
I'm
please,
talking about the previous classes.
uh, at, but I think we can discuss that at the end of the class. Just because of our recording, can we discuss that at the end of the class?
Okay.
Please, you can drop you can bring that problem, and I can properly answer you then. So I believe everybody have filled the attendance. They just dropped the attendance link again. I think Joshua has dropped it like 3-4 times already. Has everybody filled the attendance? Good. Okay. So at this point, I think we will proceed. I would proceed with the class. So before we went for the break, we were talking about text to column. Now, I was giving the illustration about where you receive email sometimes and it's just only your first name or just your last name. Using people as an example, while you were doing the registration, they asked you for full name. But when they're now sending out mail, it's just your first name or your last name that is there. Now, what they used to do that is what we call text to columns. What text to column does is it splits rows, it splits a column into multiple columns. Now look at the definition. Say text to column splits a single column of text into multiple columns. For example, you can separate a column of full names into separate first and last name columns. If you don't understand, let me demonstrate so that you would understand. Now, this column now we have as our names. Let me modify it. Let it be full names so that we can know what so here we have full names. Now we don't want to have their full names in one column. We want their first name splitted away from their last name. Let's first name be on one column. Let's first name be on column A and let last name be on column B. So all we need to do now is to select this, right? Come to this place. It's under data. It's in data. come to text to columns, select text to columns. It brings you to this place, to the convert text to column wizard. Now, it will ask you choose the file type that best describes your data. Do you want to separate by delimiter or fixed width? Now, delimited means comma, space. There's something that is separating it. It can be space. Is there characters such as commas or tabs separate each field? Now, fixed width, fields are aligned in column with spaces between each field. So now, what is separating our two different, our first and last name is the space, so it's part of the delimited. We'll select it and then click on next. Now it's not going to ask you what delimiter is separating it. Is it a tab? Is it semicolon? Is it a comma? Is it space? Or is it order? Now, the delimiters are so broad that Excel will not capture all. So you just pick the major ones and then order. Order is if the option is not in this, if it's not tab, if it's not semicolon, if it's not comma, if it's not space, it might be full stop, it might be slash, it might be hyphen, it might be underscore, it might be anything. So now that's where you can use order. For this our example now, the delimiter is space. So we select space. If you notice, when I don't select space, nothing. Look at this data preview. It has not selected anything. That Excel has not seen what I want to use and I separate it. Now, because of his space, if I go and click comma, nothing will happen because Excel cannot find any comma there. If I pick semicolon, nothing happened because Excel cannot find any semicolon there. It needs to identify what the delimiter is separating the two texts. Once you see how I put space, what happens? You see this line that has come in. It is now showing that, okay, if you select space, John will separate from Victor. Victory will separate from Audu. Peter will separate from Paul. Akanimo will separate from MM. Faraday will separate from Benson. So now it has given us like a data preview. We'll now go and click on this address. You can now click on next. This is a preview. The screen lets you select each column and set the data format. Now I can set, okay, this which data format I want to put here. Don't leave it as text, don't put it as dates, whatever I want to put. In this case, I can leave it as general, I can leave it as text. Whichever one I put, let's just put it as general. Then we are done. Once I click finish, now this is it. It's now on two different columns. It's now on two different columns. So now if I want to send out the mail with just your first name, when I'm importing the data set if I'm importing the data set into the email software, I can just pick this one as the identifier for my mail. Do we all understand? Is this clear by everybody? Please, if you understand, thumbs up. Thank you. Okay, everyone, is everybody following? Please, everybody following?
Yes, please.
No.
Gladys.
Yeah, I did not get that last part
I'll do another example
where
again. I
you
have
separate.
like two examples. When I'm doing the next example, you will see, you will understand. So let me just move over. For those who don't understand, let me move over to the next example. Now for this part, see these ones here. Let's split it again. So all I need to do is this place called data. When I come to data, come to text to column, the data tools, right? Come to data tools, select text to column. It brings me to this place, to the wizard. It asks me which type of separation am I doing. Do I want to use delimiter to do the separation, or do I want to use fixed width to do the separation? What is separating my distance is a comma, which is a delimiter. So I'll select delimited, right? And I'll go to next. Now from this one, I have to now select which delimiter is separating my text. In this case, our delimiter is no longer space, but it's now comma. So I select the comma and then I click on next. It now brings me to this part where I can choose the data format for the new columns that I'm creating. Do I want to change them to dates? So I can also do the delimiter on dates. I can do them on numbers. I can do them on anything. So I want to leave it as general. And then I click finish. It will split it for me. Is that clear?
Yes, please.
Okay. Now we can now move over to the next function, which is combining cells. Combining cells, which is number 5, combining cells. In a situation where this is how the data comes in, I don't want it to be separate. As I said, different stroke for different folks. Me, I no one made the two of them they separate. I no one made John. I no one made the first name and the last name stand on their own. I want made the full name. Maybe the kind of analysis that I want to do requires that I have their full name. I don't want to split the name. Remember, data analysis depends on what you are trying to do when you are doing your data cleaning. It depends on what you are trying. You have your end goal in mind. What you are trying to achieve determines how you want to format your data. So now with the end goal in mind, me now I'm saying, okay, for my own analysis, I no one made the name they splitted. I want it to be joint. Let's have it as full name. I don't want it to be separate. Let everything marry themselves. Make full name marry last name, because now one person will be right. There are ways we can do that. Either we use the pound function or we use the concat. Now, coming back to our sheet, let me show us the formula first. Now, see, number 1, we can combine using this pound from the Nigerians, we call it and. We call it and, right? We can combine using this and symbol, and this is the formula here. This is the formula here, which is equals to the cell and put semicolon, your delimiter, what you want to use to separate it, close the column, the pound sign, and then the second column that you want to combine again. So now coming back to Excel, now may I say, oh no, what Rejoice did, Rejoice split her own, and she's bringing the data for me to do my own analysis. Me, I don't want to split the analysis that Rejoice did even from the analysis that I am doing. And my own analysis requires that I use full name. So now it's simple. I can bring them back together. And this is the formula here. We put equals to, select the first cell you want to run, where you want to combine, add your pound symbol, put the delimiter which you want, how you want it to be separated. We want to go back to the way it was, so it will be a space. Close our quotes, put the pound sign again, and then select the next cell. Once we have done this, all we don't need to do is press enter, and it has come back to the way it was before. It's now John Victor as full name. Do we understand that part? So all I need to do here is just to drag it, and everything comes normal. It goes across board. Is that clear?
Please, can you go over it again?
Okay.
It's not clear. I did not get that particular one at
Okay,
all.
now as I was saying, just to re-explain, Rejoice has done her when Rejoice got this data set. Rejoice, apologies that I'm using your name. I want to just be as practical as possible. When Rejoice got this data set and she wanted to run her own analysis, she said that no, that what she wants now, make first name and last name. I think this was confusing everybody. Let me change this place to first. She said first name and last name has to stand individually, and then she splitted her own. She splitted it first and last name to two different columns, right? And now they've now passed, because when you're working as a data analyst, you don't work in isolation, you work in groups. Now the data set has now been passed to, let's say Rejoice is working in marketing team. She's working in marketing team. And when they pick, let's assume this is our customer data set. When she picked the data set, she wants to do an analysis to prepare a marketing strategy for the company. And then she said, okay, no, that and one of the things they'll need to do is to send out personalized emails. And for personalized emails, she doesn't want to use her first and last name. She said that now prompted her to split the cells into two, to split the particular column into two different columns, first name and last name. Now, that same data set, that same data set, and that same customer data set has now been moved to another different department. Let me find one person's name. Whose name will I use now? Arnold is is your name I will use. So now the Arnold now that works in, let's say, in sales. Arnold now that works in sales. The stakeholders, which is like the executive team, the board of directors, they are like, okay, sales department, we need to do the analysis of sales for the last month. And from that sales, we need to see the full names of the top performing customers. We want to send them a package. Maybe as Christmas is coming now, they can like, okay, Arnold and the full sales team, we need to do analysis for the whole of 2024 from January to December. We need the full names of the top performing the clients, the customers who have patronized us the most, who have brought us, who have used our services the most. We want to send them, want to draft, maybe we want to do like a customized gift for them with their name, and we need to identify them. Now, Arnold cannot use this data set like this because the names are split into two different columns. So what Arnold needs to do is to combine them together as one. Let it now become full name. So now to do this, there are two different ways Arnold can do this, right? He can decide to use the pound function, which is simple, equals to select the first name, put the pound symbol, semicolon. The delimiter, I don't want it to be separated by comma, by full stop, by slash, by space. We want to use space. Put the space, close the column. What is in this column now is our delimiter, right? Once I put that delimiter there, put the pound again, and then
Sorry, semi or quotation.
am I saying semicolon? Sorry, quotation. I'm sorry. Apologies. Quotation. Quotation.
Hello,
Sorry.
sorry.
Yeah,
Hello.
I can
The
hear
screen is
you.
not showing for the past 5 minutes now. The screen is not showing from my hand.
Please, is
We
that
love
same
that
for
and not
everybody?
not same.
I think it's your network.
Maybe it's
Um,
network issue.
Yeah,
Pashima,
it's probably his network. It's just logged
Pashima, are
out
you the
and
one that
out of
complained
it.
about your screen?
Yes. Then I've been trying to switch off for like 3 times now. The same thing.
I guess you should know because every other person can see my screen, just you.
I don't know what happened from here, but I switch off my data, my system now, reload again. Still the same thing.
Have you logged out and logged in?
Yes, I've done that like 2 times.
Your network is against you this night.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Will I say that your network is trying to be the weapon fashioned against you? Try and log
And it
out
shall
and
not
log in.
prosper.
Yeah, there's no prosper. So maybe try and log in. Not when you try to log out, you can change position. Try different aspects of the room and let's
thank
see.
you. I'll do that now. Thank you.
Okay, your network will not be the weapon fashioned against you. So as I was saying, I'm sorry, I've been using column, I've been saying column, quotes. So anytime you put your quote is what identifies your delimiter. So after that, select the next cell. Fashioner, please, can you turn off your mic?
Yes, it's not coming up. Yes, thank you. The network is not coming up. I try to change the location now. The network is not coming up. Thank you.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
So now, as I was saying,
I have a question. I've been raising my hand since.
What's your question?
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, the quotation mark.
Okay,
Is that when you write quotation mark, did you put like a space in the middle to indicate what you are trying to? Okay.
Yes, let me show you now. If I should decide that here I don't want to put space, I want to put comma. When the next example will carry comma, so we can see it. So all I need to do now is to press enter, and you can see in between John and Victor, there's a space there. If I don't put the space, okay, let's do an example where I don't put the space, and I press enter. So you see what happens? John and Victor they marry themselves. They gone body, as we will say in Nigeria, they gone body.
Yes.
So for us to avoid this gumbodying, yes, though it's the same name, but please let everybody stand on his own. We'll have to put that delimiter, which is the space in between, so that when we run it, there's a space in between, right? Now if in the case, let me copy this. We are running out of time. And I come here and I paste Control Z. I'm trying to beat time. So in this one, now let's do this example. Let's run this one with a different delimiter. So this time around, I don't want to use space, I want to use comma. I put my pound sign, select this, and then I press enter. You see that it comes with the comma. So in between those quotation, whatever you put in between the quotation is going to be what will be used to separate your two cells, the two names, your two entries, right? Is that clear by everybody? We need to move.
Yeah.
Okay. Now on that form where we can use on that form, and that way we can decide to call a function, which is a concat function. Here, it is a concat function. This one you don't need to put too much pound. It's a simple function I need to call. Please turn off your mic, please. Turn off your mic.
Sorry, I can't hear anything you're saying.
Same here. I can't hear you.
Sorry, I think while they were trying to turn off everybody's mic, they turned off my own mic too. Can you hear me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. So let me take that again. So for those that did not hear, sorry.
I think it was from my end because of the disturbance from that person. So I had to mute
Okay,
everyone.
okay. So my mic is now on back. So now to explain the concat function. Now this is it. All we don't need to do is write out your concat. Let me clear it again. So don't write out equals to concat. Select the first cell you want to put, comma. Now the thing is, we remember I spoke about delimiters. We need something to separate it. So we'll put our quotes, and the space, then put our quote again, comma, select the next cell, close the formula and enter. Now this has been done. It has combined for everybody. See? So now if I would decide to put comma here, I say no, my delimiter, I want to use comma. Now press enter. You see, it's now John, comma Victor. Everybody now has comma. So is that clear?
Yes.
Good. Okay,
Yes,
so I can
very clear.
proceed. Okay. Now, another way we can combine text, we can use the text join function. This is an advanced way of combining text using the text join function, right? So call the function text join, impute the delimiter, state whether we want to ignore empty cells. For true means ignore, false means don't ignore. Then put the first cell, yes, and then the second cell. So now let's go and try it. I think that will make us understand better. So equals to text join. What delimiter do I want to use? I want to use space, comma. Now ignore empty cell. True ignores empty cell, while false include empty cell. What I want is true. I don't want this my function to be included in any cell that is empty. So I select true, comma. The two cells text one and text two. Close the cell, enter. We have John Victor. So whichever one you want to use, you can use the pounds format, you can use the concat format, or you can use the text join format. They all serve the same purpose. Somebody just raised his hand. Gladys.
Yeah, please come and get with that text join formula, the function, how
Okay.
it's done.
So let me do that here. So it's simple, right? Equals to, we call our text join format text join, double click. What delimiter do we want to use? This time I want to use comma. Comma. Now it's asking, except now asking you, because in some scenarios, there are some instances where your data set might have empty cells. The two columns you are trying to join might have empty cells. So now, except now asking you, do you want to ignore those empty cells, or do you want to include them in the function? So if you choose false, it will include the empty cells. If you choose true, it will select the empty cells. So we don't want the empty cells. We want We don't want it to include empty cell. We want to use true. Comma, select the first cell, what the first column cell want to combine, and select the second cell want to combine, close it, and press enter. Now we see we have it with Victor, comma, John, comma, Victor. And I can drop flash fill, and goes across board. Victor, I'll do everybody has the same thing. Is that clear now? I can proceed. Now, another step in data cleaning we want to discuss now is text splits. But before we can do text splits, I want us to data sets, and it's a simple function. So let me come back to this sheet. So you can see now from this product category, this place is empty. This place is empty. This is empty. So we want to find out that, okay, this whole data set, how many blank cells do we have? How many blank cells do we have? That's where the count blank function comes into play. Did I write out the formula there? Now, this is a simple formula from here. Equals to count blanks. You can do for the column range or the data range as a whole. You can give whichever one you want. If you want to find good count blanks in the data set, you want to do it to just this column, or want to do it in the whole data set, whichever one you choose is fine. So it just equals to count blanks, select range. I want to do that in my product category. Close, press enter. Whoa, it's giving me 1000. Okay. So there's an error. I think I need to select it from here. Three. So you can see, since we have a small data set, now what I did the first time was I selected the full column from 1 to the 1,128,000. The last, so that's why it was showing that large set. So, but now I only selected the column. So if we go through our data sets, number 9, row 9 has empty, which is 1. Row 15, 2. Row 28, 3. And we do not have any other blank cell. So now this one is a quick way to find out how many blank cells. Okay, now maybe when I want to do data cleaning and I can okay, I want to remove, I want to find out how many blank cells I need to fix. So this is a very fast way to find out how many blank cells do I have. You can do it for the entire table. Okay, like this one I did was for just the product category. If I want to do, I can say this, okay, no, my data range, I want to use everything. It's still giving me 3 because the blank cells are just here. Table 1 product category. Do we all understand? Is that clear by everyone?
No.
What happened?
The count
Okay.
blank is not clear.
It's not, the count blank is not counting.
It's not clear. I did not get it very well.
Okay, now let me like this scenario. Let me use a better scenario. We want to clean our data sets, right? We are trying to clean the data set. And for us to clean the data set, we need to know how many cells are empty. For example, you can look at this cell in this product category cell column. This one now is empty. This one now is empty. Because the data set is small, we can use I to count it. But in a scenario where you are now having like a large data set of 10,000, you cannot now be looking through, cannot be going through them one by one to find out how many blank cells are there in the data set. Because before we can start talking about fixing or omitting, we need to know whether it's there or not, right?
Yes.
Now, this count blank function is what helps us to find out how many blank cells do we have in our column. So what it's going to do is that Excel will move it from column to column, and because is there any entry here? If there's any entry there, it will pass. Anyone that doesn't have entry, it will count. So it will move from here. If we come here, you use one empty, no, it will still read as 0. You use one empty, no, it will read as 0. You use one empty, no. When you reach here, is this one empty? Yes, it will count as 1. It will keep going again. If you reach here, this one empty, it will count as 2. That's how you will be counting it, just the way you do, but just that Excel will do it in a faster pace. Now it's the function, that's the purpose of this count blank function. So let me run it again so you can see. So it's just simple. Equals to, we call the count blank function. It's now asking us for the range. What range do you want to check for the blanks? Do you want to count the blanks? As it's my product category from here down to the very last one. I close my bracket and I press enter. It shows me 3. That is, in this product category, there are 3 blanks. There are 3 blanks. There are 3 null. Some of them I know that are null. There are 3. They are like this place now. When they were filling the data, they did not put anything inside there. So we have 3 cells that are empty. Do you understand now?
Yes, but if you want to do for the old table, you just have to highlight the old table, right?
Highlight the whole table. If you highlight the whole table, okay, now let's do something. We counted 3, Abi. If I come here, I remove this. Please remember it's 8 and 500. Come here, I remove this. And I come here and I say, okay, I want to count for the whole table. Equals to count blank. It's asking me for the range. I say for the range, the entire table from here, from top to bottom, and I press enter. Oh, okay, included this other one. Sorry. So yes, let's go. It's 103. So it will start count. It will go through the date column. Want and check, is there any blank in this column? It will check the customer ID. It will check gender. It will check age. It will check product ID category. It will be going from column to column. Even this one that has column 1, it will come and count it since it's in our data range and see how many of them are there empty cells to give me the total number as 103.
How
Is
is
that
it
clear?
one?
I include this place in all these places.
Okay, you added another empty column.
Yeah, this place now is only 13 is here.
Okay, all right.
So it will, every column that is in that range will be counted.
Okay, thank you.
All right. Let's rejoin it. Yeah, somebody else want to ask question. I think somebody raised his hand.
Yes, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, Mr. Kingsley.
Yeah, sorry. I just wanted to know when you are highlighting, I guess there's something, the shortcut that you quickly use to highlight the entire table or the entire
Yes.
column. So can you share that with us? Thank you.
Okay. Let me share that. So it's using Control Shift. So now if I come here and highlight this one, if I hold Shift, and I use my right key to move to the right, it will take it one by one. If I press my arrow down key, it will come down one by one. But if I want to do it at a fast pace, I don't want to move, I want to just move to the end of the data set. I'll hold Control Shift, right arrow, it takes me to the very end of the data range, or control shift down arrow brings me to the end. So I've selected my full table. Is that clear now,
All
Mr.
right.
King?
Yeah, very clear. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. So I think we can move ahead. Um, another function we can do now is to count the length of characters. Counting the length of characters. Now, this one too can be useful in its own right. So let me use this column that we already have. So I'm still on trim. Let me clear this. Okay, now I'm now looking at, okay, I want to see how many characters are there in this products category. That is this beauty, this BEAUTY. How many are there? This clothing, how many are there? When I'm done with this, you see the purpose for this particular function. How many are there? This electronics, how many are there? So it's simple. We use what we call the len function. We use what we call the len function to count the length of character in a particular cell. And this is done by using equals to len and then the cell reference. Now, when we use this, most of when we want to now do split characters from left or right, that's when this part comes into play. So now, before we can do the splitting, we need to know how many are there. So come back here, equals to, equals to len select the cell we want to count and then press enter. So it's not telling me that BEAUTY is 6, 2, 4, 6. So it's 6. We have 6 here. Clothing is 8. Electronics is 11. Clothing again is 8. Beauty is 6. Food is 4. So now this one now counts the length. That function counts the length of the character. Is that clear by everyone? We all understand? Good. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Let's move. So now the next function we'll be looking at is to return characters from the left. Now, where's my data set? I'm here. No, this is not the data set. So these are not different projects. I'm here. Let's use this other sheet. This one now. I want to select the characters. I want to I want just to have the person's first name. I want to just have the person's first name and just the initial of the surname. So instead of having John Victor, I want to have John V. Right? Now that's where the left function comes into play. All I need to do is to do equals to left. Which text do I want to split? This one, comma. Now asking you number of characters. Now, mind you, when we are counting characters, space is counted as a character, comma is counted as a character, full stop is counted as a character, slash, pound, everything is counted as a character. You know, when you haven't put in your password and you mistakenly press space, it will count it as a character. So when you are counting, you also have to include the space. Okay, now what I want is John V. So I count 1, 2, 3, 4. The space is 5. Then V 6. So when I put 6, then can you see that? John V. I've split. What I just want is just the first name and the last name. But this I can't do control. I can't drag it down. Let me show you. If I drag it down, see what you have. This is Victor. Victory. That has been reduced to Victor. Peter. There's no first name. So this is not, it's not a general case scenario. It cannot be used. There's an advanced way of doing it, but want to take it step by step. Right? Is that clear? To use the left. Now,
No, please come again with the
this is it, right? This is the formula here. Equals to, call the
okay.
left function, open bracket, select the cell you want to use this function on. When you have done that, comma, how many characters do you want to see? You don't want to see everything, you just want to see a part of it. So what is that? What Excel will now start doing is that, okay, I put 6. This is 1, 2, O is 2, N is 3, H is 3, N is 4, comma is 5, V is 6. Anything after 6 will be removed. That's why if I should drag this one down now, for each of them, it's only going to give me the first 6 characters. So from here, anything after R, which is the 6th character, is removed. This Peter now is the same, and everything after Peter is removed. Akanimo, everything after O, O is the 7th character, is removed. Is that clear?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Now I can also do the reverse. I can say, okay, I don't want to come from the front, I want to come from the back. Now I don't want to start from the left, I want to start from the right. So what we need to do is to call the right function. Ask me text, I say for full name, comma, number of characters. Okay, I want just the first 4, the last 4 rather. I pick 4 and I press enter. See, it has given me, okay, let me use something to make sense to a lot of persons. Let's use 6. Let it make sense. See, it has given me Victor. So this is a way we can extract data without using the text to column. So we can split it, can remove, but for text to column now, text to column only uses delimiters, but this one is not using delimiters, it's using the character. This one too is splitting, is pulling it out, it's not splitting it, it's pulling it out. Like, okay, from this whole thing that is happening now, I want to just pick out only a particular section of the input. For example, now in class now, I say, okay, oh, I want to just pick out the people that are shown on my screen here, only just these persons. I can use okay, I want to do people from the top. Let's say the top is my left, the bottom is my right. If I use left and I use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, it will give me the first 7 persons. If I use right, it will give me the last 7 persons. Do you understand? Am I good to go?
Yes, you are.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Gladys, for the feedback. Please, everyone, if you know you're following, please give me a thumbs up. Let me know that every other person is following. Please just drop a thumbs up. Rejoice, Fashina, Kingsley. Do I have only 4 people in this class? I have lost the rest.
Maybe due to the network.
Where's everybody?
We're here now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Now,
yeah.
as
They are here.
back, everybody just
They are
came
here waiting
quiet.
for the attendance. It's already 10 p.m. Please.
Yeah.
Okay. So already 10 p.m. All right. So let's just finish up.
Please, let's go on, please.
We still have a lot. We need to do 1, 2 data. We have not even entered data management, but we'll see what we can do. Move it to another day. It's already 10 p.m. So now the next function is to distinguish between text and non-text. Now, this is number function tells if a data stored in that cell is in a text format. Let me use a practical example. Now, for this one, If I decide, if I put equals to this number, select this, enter. It's telling me false. That's saying that this is not this cell. This cell now doesn't contain numbers, it contains text. I can decide to drag it down along since it's a very small data set. She's showing me false, false, false. So if I should come here now and let me say I put 56. I drag it down here. See, it has changed to true because here is now a number. So we use this is number function to determine if the cell, if the entry is in number format or it's in a text format. If it's in a text format, it will tell us false. And if it's in a number format, it will tell us true. Someone raise his hand.
I can't see your screen. I can't see your screen.
Please confirm. Is that same for everybody?
Yes, same here.
You can't see my screen?
No, I can see it.
No, I can't see your screen.
Joshua, please confirm. Can you see my screen?
We can see it. Oh.
You can see the screen.
Yeah, we can
Yes.
see
I
it.
think it's your network. Yeah, because I can see the
Please
screen
check
from
your network. Please check your network.
my end.
Check your network. Okay. So
Oh,
do
actually,
we
I
all
can see your
understand this
screen now.
number function? Do we all understand this number function?
Yeah, I do.
Yes, yes, yes.
So basically what we just use is number is to just find out if the text entry is in data, if it's if the cell contains a text or a number. Now finally, before we call it a night, even though we are very, very far, no, wrong. Data set. Now in data cleaning, one way we can clean it
I can't hear you.
very quickly is to use the find and replace symbol. Is that, can you hear me?
Can hear you
Yes, we
now.
can
Yeah, I
hear
Can
can
you
hear
hear
you
now.
now.
you.
Yeah,
So,
you were
apologies,
you were
guys.
breaking a while ago.
Sorry about that. Sorry about that. What I was saying now is in Excel, sometimes due to human error, as you can see from here, the person was trying to type electronics, the person mistakenly included F maybe from the keyboard, and he did not notice and he submitted the entry like that. We cannot run analysis like this. So we have to eliminate this. And one way we can do it is using the find and replace function. We can use the find and replace function, which we can see from here on the home tab, find and select. So just come here, replace. I'm sure a lot of us are familiar with this. Find what? Tell the find electronics. Rather, the person included F. replace it with what? Electronics. Find all. Now it has pointed out this one here. Let me move this my bar. It has selected this cell here. So once I click on replace, see what happens now. It removes. So if we have like a large data set that has this kind of error, this is like a recurring error. Please, when you use find and replace is when you have like a recurring error. Maybe you see that a lot of persons they made the same mistake across board. You can now use the find and replace to just correct all of them at once. That brings us to the end of class today. Almost ready. Please, if it's possible, we can stop the recording now while we take questions.
Thank you very much. I hope you guys enjoy the class.
Yes, we did.
We enjoyed it, but almost today we dey miss you. You for come.
He did, yes, so now. Thank you, Mr. Spam. Thank you so much.
No,
I
it's
think
okay.
Mr. Samuel, a question, please.
Yeah, please. I just want them to please. Almost ready, we can stop the recording while we take questions. So we don't have large data. Sorry?
The recording is still going on. Let them stop it first. Some of us here are waiting for it.
Please, you can end the recording.
Can you mute your microphone? Since you are working.
Ali, please. Thank you. Almost a day. Okay. So while that is going on, please, anyone that has question, it's already past 10. So I saw Obu Achinedu's hand first. So you can ask.
Okay, Samuel, thank you for the presentation today. You did so well. For this find and replace, let's say we have a large data set that runs into millions or let's say hundreds of thousands. How can we go about it? I know you didn't really dwell much on this find and replace, and I want to also plead for our next class if we can start from this find and replace. But if we have a larger data set that runs into millions, how can we go about it? If you can just explain orally, then while we meet in the next class,
Okay.
you can tell us practically. Thank
So
you.
now, okay, yeah, thank you. So now for find and replace, you can only use find and replace for recurring errors. Like I said, for recurring errors, because Excel is going to go and find that exact entry that you put, right? To find that exact entry that you put, and then look once it finds it, and then it will replace it with whatever option you put below. Let me open it again so I can explain properly. So now is the find and replace. When you click here, now find what we tell Excel. This is what I want you to find. This particular electrophoenix. This one. This is what I want you to find. And replace it with electronics. So Excel will go through the data set. Anywhere you see this exact word, it will explain it, it will replace it with this. So if in a large data set there are recurring errors, you can just use find and replace quickly to eliminate it. Please, as the recording stopped, and no one casts. Recording is. Do you understand now, Chinedu?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Maybe for okay, well, a very good example now is